Let's try out Omnia, the new choir library that comes with Komplete 14 Collector's Edition. For whatever reason, Omnia shows up all the way at the bottom in other choir sample libraries. They're massive. Like if you load the bases one, it is gigs and gigs and gigs. It takes ages. So having all 4 up at one time, if you're going to work on this, it might be worth putting them all together and then bouncing out to audio, because they are huge, but they sound incredible. Check this out. Let's load the altos. Okay, so GUI wise, we're presented with this big control in the middle, okay, and it just seems to do this weird visual thing. We'll have a look at what that does in just a second, because it's a key factor to the sound and definitely automation. Now, by default, it loads on keys, so a key press. It's always going to play that key, and then you've got your key swap on the lowest octave on your keyboard. In my case, I can't write it. You'd need a full 61 key keyboard. Let's say we want to trigger a different one each quarter here. It's all well and fine if you've got a 61 key keyboard and you can just switch with your left hand. However, there's also the sequencer built in, which is arguably a lot more fun. So if we switch over to the sequencer, now a single key is going to play the sequence. And you can adjust how that plays. So we've got the little attachments between each one here. So the little line means it's going to play onto the next note. The cross means it's going to blend into the next note. And if you leave a gap, it'll actually pause until you trigger the key again. Leaves an option to just change which key you're playing. There's a whole bunch of different presets to load in. However, I've been having a lot of fun just rolling the dice on it each time and then mixing it up with what I would like to do. So for example here, let's have 2 notes pause, 2 notes pause, and 2 notes pause, and now we can just go. We've then got performance styles as well of sustain, maraccato, staccato, and staccissimo. I mentioned this control at the top before. If we dial this all the way to the left-hand side, we get a much tighter, isolated vocal. It's almost muted and calm. But as we open it up, now here we're just looking at the altos. We've also got the bass, sopranos, and the tenors. They all work in exactly the same way, so let's load up all 4 and build a little something together. So I'll introduce them one by one and we can listen to what we've built here. All we've done is a simple chord progression. The bottom note of the chords is the bass, and then a really simple melody using notes from the chords and then some drums from Damage. My first impression is it's a really impressive and detailed library. It's not the easiest thing to get to grips with, but a couple of things I've shown you there should be able to get you some great starter results. I'd love to see something like the word builders that we've seen in other instruments come into this. That would be incredible. But overall, stupidly powerful and fantastically good fun, and I can see myself using this in my music, even though I don't necessarily make like cinematic pieces. I can absolutely integrate this into my workflow. Really, really great addition.